Yo, what's going on out there in them digital streets? This your player partner Wack checking in, and this is the Dropbox, and let's get into it. Yeah, man, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get into this clip.
Energy. If you bring negative to negative, that shit like a bomb, cuz like you
Oh
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it's
So
gonna go.
I could
It's
say he,
gonna
he
go.
never really hated nobody that I know of.
Nah, it was funny because shit was just funny because depending on what was going on, that's what you was gonna get. You know, you
Depending
know,
on who you fucking with, I'm fucking dead.
you know what
Because
I'm
it's so
saying?
him. It's
That's
so
just
so
him.
him.
That's him, man.
Look, I was in I was in London with him when he did his first show. It was him, Fats, and I. And I was in Europe already, and I just had met them in London. And after his show, we wanted to go get some weed. And the driver, okay, I know where to take you. I know where to take you. So he takes us somewhere, tells Nip to come with him, and he comes back out pissed, like on his bumper, on the driver's bumper, like, man, I ain't no hoe. Don't be fucking taking me to your family house, fucking introducing me and shit. Like, there was no weed there. Basically, he just like made a pit stop to his folks' house to show them that Nip was with him. But then he ends up taking us to like some projects in London. And whoever came to bring us some smoke gave Nip some bullshit, and
Oh,
Nip
he tripping.
behaved. Well, bullshit in Nip's eyes, right? So he snatches his money, snatches the weed, and like starts acting crazy, like we are in Los Angeles. But I know London pretty well, but I did not know where the fuck we were at that point, and it was just like literally we're in somebody else's. It's like being somewhere in Brooklyn. It's like pulling up on somebody else's projects and just going crazy because they didn't give you what you expected. I'm like, oh, we about to not leave London. We are not on Slauson and Crenshaw. Come on. So the driver, so they start fighting or whatever, and the driver, Anya, please, help him. I'm like, when I see them on the floor, I'm gonna jump out the car. Until then, I'm staying in my place. Okay. So anyway, they whooped the ass. They took the weed. They took the money back, and we went about our business. But he's just wild.
Hey, Will, I know you want Fedora to play two songs. Fedora, you still up?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro.
All right, let me say this real quick before you do. So, Anya, you brought up Fats, man. That's my boy. Well, since
Yeah.
childhood, man. So, um, when I first met Nip was through Fats in 2009. I was throwing all the parties in LA and all that
Mm-hmm.
shit. So I seen Nip was, making his run. I had like the Vixens and Cold Flames and all them back then. So I was like, yeah, let me get Nip over here. In Huntington Park, I had Margarita Jones, that club. So I hit Fast like, hey, tap in with your boy, see if he'll come perform, how much he need, whatever. So Fast was like, all right, I'm gonna hit him. Nip hit me. Nip ended up calling me like, hey, I'm gonna come through. I'm like, how much you want? He's like, shit, I'll do it, I'll do it out of love. I'm like, shit, for sure, come through. Throw you on the flyer and all that. So what ended up happening is I threw him on a flyer and he didn't show up. And then he
Oh.
ended up calling me like, hey, my bad, my plane, this and that, whatever you need, I got you. So I ended up booking him for another date. We agreed on a date. And then I was like, hey, because I had some artists I was dealing with at the time. I was like, can you do a verse for me? He was like, yeah, I got you on that too. Nigga ended up doing a verse for me and came through and did the show and looked
Oh,
out.
that
And
was love. Okay.
yeah, I ended up giving that verse to this one nigga I was dealing with back then named Ink Monster. He got a hold of it, but whatever. But yeah, the nigga did his shit. He came through, showed love, man, for free,
He would
and
literally
just
do
out of
do
respect.
do do verses like after shows. We'd be in a hotel, and he would hop. There would be a line of dudes outside the room paying him for verses, and he would just
hmm
in the room before
Man,
we
he
went on
he
to
was
the next city.
knocking them down, right? Knocking
I
them
mean,
down.
with the
So
thing
yeah, I
about
respect
it, he
that.
remembered when he needed the verse.
Facts.
You know what I mean? That's
Facts.
why game really blessed him. Right? Game fucked with him. Like he remembered when he needed that. You know what I mean? You never know, man. Like I tell everybody, Drake used to be that guy. Lil Wayne used to be that guy. Everybody started from the bottom before they got to the top. You
Uh-huh.
never know who's who.
Hey,
You never
Wack.
know.
Real quick, were you at all involved in getting game on that We Roll song?
They roll.
With who? With him and
Yeah.
uh no, Game had his own relationship with him. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
yeah,
So
they
that was
talk
just
like
them doing their thing.
wasn't nobody in between between them two. You know what I mean? They talk, set it up. You know what I mean? He might let me know Nip come to the studio today or whatever, get it set up or whatever. But they had their own person. That was no politics in that. That was all personal. Game did some crazy shit. I don't know if y'all paid attention. Game did some crazy shit. I know he did it because he was emotional about his demise. Game took his Lamborghini, right, and and wrapped the motherfucker blue, right. Put Nipsey on one side, the marathon flag on the hood, and that's what killed it. And every nigga that's a gang member on here know, and put Crenshaw on down the other side. That nigga from Compton Paru for real.
Yeah.
A total violation, right? But to him, he was representing his partner. And to leave the Crenshaw out of that because Nipsey pushed that shit and forced that shit, right? To leave that out of it, he felt like it'd have been incomplete. But he didn't give a fuck about whatever Game didn't care about whatever the consequence that came with him doing that. So they was close. You know what I mean?
Like he was
They had
very vocal after Nip passed on social media.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
like people thought he was playing. Dude wasn't playing. It was like fuck them niggas would talk about other shit. You know what I mean? They was real close. So it was never gonna be Wack call somebody to get Nip, but once they were introduced and they met each other, they took that relationship from there and they built it. They built it on their
Hey,
shoulders.
I don't know if
That
you
shit was
remember this,
organic.
but we remember we used to do the club with Frisco Chuck in Hollywood. It
Yeah, the
was
one
game.
down street from the W.
It was Game birthday. We had the Kardashians in there, and Nip came in there that night, and he was probably like 40 deep, right?
Yeah,
So we kicking it and stuff, and the homeboy BA from Bompton, he always getting into shit with niggas. So that
yeah.
night, Bompton BA got into it with some of the 60s. Man, the club turned up. They got to fighting and got to tripping and shit. Man, game got off the stage and he went down to the thing and he was like, Nip, for real, at my birthday, blood. Nip looked at him. He looked at all of the little homies got to tripping. Nip
And
had
stopped it.
tears. Nip had tears in his eyes. He said, "Nah, Chuck, nah." Then Nip did some shit, and all the little homies from 60 cleared out. Man, I mean, niggas was going to the
And
car
stopped
getting
it. No,
snaps
them
and
niggas had a
everything.
different. It was a real relationship with them.
They
Like
loved each other. They
that
really
wasn't
loved.
no industry shit. That was no, you know what I'm saying? That was no industry shit. That was them niggas had a real bond. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know if people understood that nigga doing that Lamborghini like that. Nigga, that is a total violation when it come to power rule. Period. He was not supposed to do that. He didn't give a fuck what come with that. You know what I mean? Like, that man really was emotional about that situation, and he just wanted to represent his homeboy. It was real home. YG another one, man. I know they real close. You know what I mean? I never really
I was
Hmm.
about to
knew it.
say this nigga YG throw up 6-0 now, so I mean,
Yeah, but yeah, that's
Oh.
doing he doing a little too much, doing all that, and
Oh.
even the 6-0s don't want you doing that, and his
Yeah.
neighborhood definitely don't, right? Because that's they representation of where they from, and ain't nobody supposed to be throwing up that but them. You know what I mean? Because if you throwing up that and you not them, you nigga don't know how to take it on some real shit. Um, but me personally, um, I'm a representation of the West, of our culture, and I push that. I push our culture, and our culture is that. A lot of people don't understand that we've been taking L's. You know what I mean? We had the music dominate the music at one time. The South been dominating music the last 10, 15 years, whether people want to admit that or not. All we got left of this culture out here we come from with this shit is crippin' blood and this motherfucking marijuana. We got to protect it at all costs. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? We got to protect that at all costs, both sides. You know what I mean? So, um, shout out to everybody on this platform. You know, shout out to everybody that came and stayed after they seen it. They wasn't gonna hear no bullshit. A lot of people I see popped in, and when they heard the positive going on, they popped out. You know what I mean? So, um,
Hey, real quick,
shout out to
Wack,
Nip.
as a
Yeah,
nigga from the South too, though, even though I'm from the South, and yeah, we did have our takeover, but man, listen, I always see how other people feel like, oh, the West or wherever is lacking. Man, to me, in my eyes, the West is still keeping up, though. You know, you had,
nah, bro, it really, bro. If
Who
you
from the
look at it
West
on
is
some real shit,
who type?
Atlanta. Listen, Thug,
oh, no, for
Migos,
sure, for sure.
Lil Baby, Dub Baby, fuck, let's go, fucking on
Yeah,
Travis,
but the
Travis.
South big as fuck though.
But yeah,
All the
No, but at
exactly.
one
But
point
y'all
in
was still,
time, it
y'all
was
was still doing y'all. In
y'all
my
got to
eyes,
remember, bro, y'all youngsters. At one point in time, it was New York, L.A. Look, niggas, I wish my boy Gip was on here from the Goody Mob. Niggas wasn't even acknowledging what they was doing down there.
for
You
sure,
had
for sure.
right,
Scarface them on a major
right.
movement, right? So for them niggas been really running it up for about 10, 15
Oh
years.
yeah, yeah. I
Strong as a
remember when
motherfucker.
Dre got on the what was that Source
South got something
the
to
Source
say.
and said the
Award.
South got something to say. Yeah,
Oh yeah, the Source Award.
yeah, and that shit turned
Yeah.
it up. And you, but when you look at the South, it's like Florida had its run, Atlanta had the longest run,
Well,
and
Atlanta's
and
still
they've had a
running.
few runs.
Yeah.
Atlanta's still
Yeah,
running.
yeah,
Yeah.
they took over,
Yeah, cause
they
you
took
remember
on and just never
they
fell
had the
off.
Goody Mob era. They had Andre 3000 Outcast era. You had your
Man,
Ti
when
shit
Lil
come,
Jon
and then
came out, the
And you
Lil
can't forget
Jon,
Memphis, man. Memphis.
Ludacris.
yeah,
Ludacris.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I
Hey,
When
mean.
I'm just
Ti
gonna
and
say
hey, when Ti
California,
and
y'all was
Jeezy
definitely
was
holding.
on in 05, '06, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, but see, when Game popped back up '05, you got to remember that's on us waiting on Dre and them to come back,
Yeah,
they wasn't. You know what I mean. So when Game hit. You know what I mean? That
Oh
shit, we
yeah,
needed
niggas
that
Hey,
was
shit.
Wack,
hyping,
Wack, what's your favorite
especially the
game out
Bloods.
there?
hey
Nigga,
y'all,
we
can we
we did.
keep it on subject a
True.
little bit,
Yeah, you
man?
right, you right.
Yeah, we back. No,
Yeah,
we just talking about how he, you know, how he I
yeah.
mean, really, he influenced like my cat in Florida, right? He kind of like
For
he the
sure.
influence niggas
Indeed.
way over there.
For
Um,
sure.
um, and I really think though at the end of the day that when the movie come, which I know somebody got to be working on it, doing something with it. When the movie comes, right, just like Biggie situation. I think it's really gonna make his story even bigger because a lot of people still curious. You know what I mean? A lot of people they want to know like who was he as a little boy? You know what I mean? What was it about him that made him
A
different? You know what I
genius.
mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. It's a lot to him than just the things we know. You know what led up to him
He built
before
his
he.
own computer.
I was just
Yeah,
about to say
He
that.
was
see what I'm
ahead of his
saying? That's some
time.
About to
crazy
say
shit.
that.
See that shit like people don't.
Kept
You know what I
bringing
mean?
parts. Sam said he kept bringing computer parts home and shit, and having all this junk. And finally one day he looked. He said, "I looked, and this motherfucker built his own computer."
And and
And
you
it
know
worked.
and you know what's funny?
Hmm.
One day he spoke about on an interview. He spoke about a cryptocurrency, right? And I didn't even know about it.
Long time ago,
It,
A
yeah, he did.
long time ago, he rich
tells
off that shit.
Oh, bro, it tells you this guy is a visionary. He's a really visionary. He's seeing the future. So I'm listening
Yeah.
to him talk. I'm like, damn, cryptocurrency. So like, from a rapper, you not expect that as much. You know what I'm saying? But like, yo, for someone to have that vision, that third eye, and everything, I was like, I gotta really figure who this guy is. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely touched my like my movement for sure, as far as the financial markets and his music as well.
Yeah, I think
He
the
understood it all. He really
he
did
had
understand it
exposure.
all.
He was exposed to things that, allowed his brain to think outside of his hood. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was why he was able to touch so many people, because he wasn't closed off to, you know, um, expansion. Essentially, I'm from the other side of Florence. I'm not gonna put my hood out there, but anybody who in the streets know where that's at. Um, and Nipsey Hussle, I mean, when he first came out, you couldn't even listen to his music on the other side of Florence. You know what I'm saying? Without it being
Mm-hmm.
some real smoke behind that. And he was like a hood trophy. Like if a nigga could get nipped, like and the thing about it is that he was always outside. You feel me? Like the nigga wasn't never hiding from nothing. And so you couldn't really do nothing but respect it. You know what I'm saying? And he's really the definition of a rival turned idol. You know what I'm saying? Because he was just able to really like transcend the minds and hearts of niggas that was really in the field for real. And that
Yeah,
and
Mm.
that's
that and that's
big.
really
That's
hard to do
big.
because niggas really wanted to go there with him. You know what I'm saying? So it went from that to a nigga seeing him like, hey, there go that nigga Nipsey. Like, you know what I'm saying? It went from a respect thing. So,
Yeah, to
man,
win
shouts
that
out to that.
respect.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
shouts out to
big.
that
So
Yeah,
she
man.
that's
said
big.
rival,
That's for
a rival
Yeah.
turned idol. Like
Yep.
that's
That's dope.
that's big right there.
Oh, shit.
That's big on some
facts.
real shit. And I definitely know. We all know when you say you from the other side of Florence, shit, that politics is very, very,
That's
very
a fact.
different. And for you to say that, that's just you speaking from your heart and just keeping it real. You know what I mean? So I definitely respect it.
That's like on that Where Your Money at, where he say, know some Inglewood niggas bang my shit tough. They be like, that nigga Nip kind of sick, blood. Like,
Yeah,
that
that's,
shit,
Yeah.
that shit was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that line and
Jay
that shout
Fedora.
out to my enemies, shout out to the facts. We the ones that they pretend to be.
Yeah.
That was another. Hey, he was. He showed that love. But like the young lady just said, it was issues. I would really have to turn that shit down when I make that left on 80 if I'm Crenshaw.
Nigga, you
And
better say
nigga,
that shit for
told
real.
me. Yeah, and I would love it. I'm trying to be like, nigga, it's about elevation. Cause I guess he had was one line at some point to say busting shots at big lots, and they like, nigga, that's the homies, nigga. And it's funny because I talked to some of the homies from that side, and they was like, oh, that line was really about the big lots on Slauson and Western, not the one on Crenshaw and Manchester. So basically, I mean, they ain't give a fuck because when you in it, you in it. But I was on Crenshaw, Manchester when the processional turned that corner, and it was niggas like real enemies out there that was only out there, and they out there with niggas from the other side throwing up their sets, talking shit, and they just went out there just to show that love, and that was something I
That
don't
was
know that we'll ever see again.
Yeah,
yeah.
look,
That
Hell
was
yeah,
magical.
niggas is still
just
beefing
like in
with their
light,
homies for that shit. Like trying to show love to a real nigga, and now they got friction in their hood. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of niggas
just
that ain't even looked at the same because
just to enlighten y'all on something, right? It was a Nipsey Hustle before Nipsey Hustle, and I'm gonna open it up to y'all. Nipsey probably hit what 2000 what
I
seven
know.
when Nip oh
Yeah,
07.
that was when the bullets ain't got no
Okay,
name,
oh
but I
seven. Now
I
watch
had
this.
a
Keep
Yeah.
going.
Now watch this. The other rapper
Uh-oh.
who was just like Nip with this shit with enemies was like, nigga, we don't give a fuck what y'all say. That nigga hard was DJ Quick.
yeah.
DJ Quick, we talking 89, 90. So it took 17, 18 years for that to happen again. See, that ain't everybody just can't come out to where and you that respected and niggas respecting your music and your movement to where the niggas that's supposed to be your real true enemies like nigga, fuck that shit. That shit hard in the motherfucker.
and
You know what I'm saying?
it
You know what
didn't
I'm
happen
saying?
in our
Yeah.
generation, the younger
That
generation.
sweet
This
black
nigga
pussy,
said
that Tonight album, all that shit. Nigga, them car had so many cop and crips say, whack, man, shit, man, this CC Rider, but shit, man, cuz hard in the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
nigga said
Like,
coming straight off of Slauson or well, coming straight out the '60s.
Yeah, man. That was a clip of Wack 100 in the clubhouse Sleepless in LA house. He was talking about Nipsey. If y'all went up on events, Nipsey's birthday was this past Sunday. Yeah, man, great guy, man. Did a lot of things for the culture and just really pushed hip hop forward in more ways than I think people even realize now. But yeah, man, let's do this. Let's go to all the streaming services out here and let's find our favorite Nipsey song and let's play that one time. And also leave your favorite Nipsey song in the comment section below so you can share it with the tribe. Man, I know mine is Young Niggas. I love it because it's Nip and he sampled West District by Party Next Door. So there's a lot of great things going on in that song. Check it out. And on that note, I'm out the box with it. Do you hear me?